Welcome to our new React Native series. Today's topic, Expo and simulators. Dive into how Expo enhances React Native projects and the role of simulators. Watch the full episode to master React Native step by step. Let's explore together.
Alright, so are you excited to start building React Native apps? I'm sure you are. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to have Node.js installed in your computer, which I'm pretty sure you have. So you can see the latest version is 16, so anything above 14 should work. So here I have my terminal open. I can check my version here as well, Node -v, and you can see I'm using the version 16. Okay, so that's Node.js. Next thing you want to do is to build React Native apps. To build and deploy, you will use a tool called Expo, which makes things extremely easy. Alright, so you will go to Expo Dev, and here you will get a lot of other information. For example, how do you preview your app, right? So unlike web app, which you could just test in the browser, you go to localhost 3000 and you have the front end running. But since we're building mobile apps, you have a couple of options. So one option is you can use your device, the actual device, whether it's Android or iOS or both, whatever you can use to test on the actual device, and that is the one I recommend because I'm pretty sure you have either one of them. And then when you test on the actual device, you know how your app exactly works. So once you deploy in the real in the production, you know how your app actually works. So it's always really good to test your application in the actual device. Okay, and that is very easy as well. Okay, so I recommend you to do that, but there are other options. They are pretty good as well, and they are emulators. Okay, so let me quickly show you here. Simulators for iOS and Android. So let's go to the iOS first, and they have a very detailed explanation as well here. Actually, that's not the one. Let me show you. Expo iOS emulator. Google search works better. Okay, so let's click here. Alright, so you can see in this tutorial they will explain how to install the iOS simulator. So basically you need to install Xcode, which should come pre-installed in any Macs. Okay, so these are the steps you have to follow to run on the iOS simulator, which will look something like this. Let me quickly show you. I have the app, the preview application running. So here you can see this is the iOS simulator. It is running locally in my computer. You can see here. So this is the application we will be building. Okay, so that's how it works. The user has the image. User can upload the image. So you can see the images library that opens. Okay, so this is the iOS simulator, but don't worry if you can't install Xcode, go through all these steps, which should be pretty straightforward. But if not, don't worry. Once you run your application, this is where it will open. This will open automatically, and you get the barcode, and it will also appear in your terminal here wherever your app is running. And all you have to do is use your device, open the camera app and take a photo of this barcode, and that will open your app in the Expo app. So first thing you need to do is obviously I forgot to mention that, install Expo app for your device, whether you're using Android device or App Store. So you can download from Google Play for the Android, and for iPhone you can download from App Store. Okay, so that's what you need to do. Once you have that app installed, that will look something like this, Expo Go. So once you have this one, all you have to do is that barcode Okay, so this barcode, you open your camera app, take a photo of this one, and that will open your app in the actual device, whether you're using iOS and Android. So that is how you can easily get up and running. But obviously, if you are on Mac, you can also use the simulator like this. And if you are on Android, you can also use Android Studio, that will give you the simulator like this one, which I will also show you. Let me just go through the documentation. So for that, if you want to run it on Windows, then you can do, let me quickly search Expo simulator Android Studio. So you have to install Android Studio, just like you use Xcode for App Store. For the Mac, on Windows, to run Android, you need to install Android Studio. By the way, Android Studio you can install in Windows, in Mac computer as well. So there's a documentation here. Expo has documentation not just to install the emulators, but even for so many other things, including the deployment. Okay, so this documentation is excellent. All right, so there are a few more steps to install Android Studio. It will take some time because these are big files, but you can follow this documentation, have the Android Studio installed in your computer, and then you can launch the virtual device. All right, and that will open up your application in the Google Pixel phone, which is the Android, runs on the Android. All right, so feel free to use the emulator for Android and iOS, or you can take the easy way and just install Expo app from the App Store or Google Play to your actual device, and then open up the camera app and scan this barcode to run the application in your actual device. All right, so once we start our application, once we start our Expo React Native app, the localhost, you will get some kind of something similar open up in your browser and even in the terminal, and that's where you will see this barcode. All right, so you scan this one, you are up and running. And let me also show you how the app looks on the Android simulator. So this is how it looks. This is the Android simulator. Okay, this is the same app. You can see it's running on Android.